Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Alexandra Eala becomes the first Filipino woman in history to win a WTA singles title. She won the WTA 500 tournament in Washington, beating the number 3 player in the world, Jessica Pegula, in 3 sets in what was a final that spanned over 2 days. An incredible final as well, and performance from her, and an incredible run as well to the title. I have to say, it's a very strong set of performances to win a 500, I have to be honest. So really impressive from her. She will jump from 28th in the world to 20 in the world, which is a career high, and Jessica Pegula described her as the future of the tour. So what we're going to do is I'm going to briefly touch upon some of the things that were said from both players post-match, and also maybe during as well, or prior, and then I'm going to talk a little bit tactically about what came about, because it was an impressive performance from her. She came from a set down as well to win 4-6, 6-4, 6 love. So I want to talk about, first of all, the crowd. I mean, incredible crowd. And interestingly, the Washington Open director post-match, and even Pegula said as well, both of them said that this is the best crowd they've ever seen for a Monday final. An incredible turnout for both players in what ended up being an entertaining final. Unfortunately, the third set was a bit of a wipeout, and I think Pegula would have been a little bit disappointed by that. But look, she has won the title here twice before, in 2019 and 2021. But for Eala, she spoiled the party. She didn't let Pegula secure that three-peat, and I think from my perspective, Pegula, yes, maybe will look back at the third set and feel disappointed, but you know, Pegula actually said, I can definitely confirm this is the best Monday final crowd I've seen. I'm sure some people took off work. I won't tell them where you guys were. Rafa Nadal as well posted on X saying a well-deserved title for all the hard work to Alexandra Eala. And I have to say, I think Eala has been described as the future of the tour from Jessica Pegula, and she's now a champion on the WTA Tour. She's won a challenger tournament in the past, but that's not a main tour event. And I think what she said is that she felt so much love. She knew whatever happened, the match would have already been a win for her. It was her first chance at a title, knowing it won't be the last, and already she's achieved this milestone for her career. And something that was really interesting when I spoke to her at Wimbledon as well, which was incredible to talk to her a number of times at Wimbledon, and she always gives very mature insights and very well spoken in her thoughts. She essentially said that for a lot of players from different countries that have had successful former players in the past, for example from Spain, where you've had incredible players, some of the greatest ever players to hold a racket come from, when they win a title, the players that are coming through who are younger, for them maybe it doesn't have the same effect or impact that it does for her, because for them it's seen as, oh, this is expected, you know, I'm expected to win this, and oh, I've seen this happen before. It's almost quote unquote the norm. For her, she's a trailblazer for the Philippines. She has not been expected to win anything. It's everything that she wins, you almost feel like for her is an incredible achievement, and every milestone she secures is an incredible almost bonus. I don't know if bonus is the right word for it, but you just can tell that she's so grateful, and because it's such a new experience for her and for the country as well as a whole, that it just has this effect that transcends maybe even sport as well for the Philippines specifically. But it's becoming a global phenomenon, and she is as well, because the crowd, even though it was in the US and Pegula's from the US, they were majority cheering for Eala, which was pretty crazy to see and hear. In terms of the match, I want to touch upon a couple of things. I think first of all, I think Pegula did well to win the first set after there were some swings in breaks. But the one thing I think that Eala did really well was being very aggressive from the start. Pegula made quite a few errors in the third set, I think uncharacteristic errors, but in that second set, Eala took her opportunities. The first two sets are pretty tight, but Eala was being very aggressive off the second serve return, and when she needed to break, she did ramp up the aggression on those returns as well. I think she, not necessarily going for winners, but she was going for a tactic which meant that she was trying to shorten the points as much as possible. Pegula did quite well coming to the net at times, although Eala eventually started to pass her quite well. But I think that was a decent ploy from Pegula. She was using the backhand slice, trying to slow down the rhythm of Eala, and at times it did work. But Eala, what she did really well was cut off the angles for Pegula, so she was standing, and I mentioned this in the preview, her court positioning was so tight to the baseline, or almost inside at times, that she was trying to take time away from Pegula. She was closing off the angles, and Pegula at times I think felt suffocated and felt like she was having to play off the back foot or play a match that wasn't on her terms, which I think made her feel very uncomfortable. And that was quite evident, especially in the third set, where she wasn't really able to find her range. She started to go for maybe too much because she maybe felt that Eala, after that winning that second set, was able to dictate proceedings and potentially have better shot tolerance in the longer rallies. So she was trying to shorten than Pegula, but she was making mistakes. I think the rain delay, I think it happened at 6-4 and then 1-2 or 4-6, 2-1 for Eala. So I mean, Pegula could maybe say, well, I had some momentum, but it was on serve and in the second set. So I don't feel like the outcome was altered because they came back a day later. I just think that Pegula, I don't think she played substantially worse than the first day. I think the second set was pretty close to the first set level. Just in the third set, she somehow capitulated. I think Eala played some really good tennis, but it wasn't necessarily a case of just Eala blasting off the court. It was more, I think Pegula started to make more errors, and then Eala was clinical in securing the victory, which to me was really impressive as well from her. Definitely well deserved. I mean, if we look at her run before I wrap up, she beat Zheng Qinwen, a gold medalist at the Olympics. I know she's not been the best of form recently, but still a danger. Leylah Fernandez, the defending champion. In Washington, Svitolina, top 10 player. Naomi Osaka, 4-time Grand Slam champion. And then Pegula, who's the number 3 player in the world and a former US Open finalist. Guys, let me know your thoughts about Eala's victory below. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you next video.